going. Officially, good afternoon. Welcome to the Market Watch Group Weekly Market Wrap. My name is Scott, and I will be your host for the next hour as we take a journey into the depths of market action, trading psychology, and option goodness. No, really. Disclaimers. Education and illustrative purposes only. No recommendations to buy or sell. We're not brokers or advisors. Today we're going to talk about the market. Makes sense. We'll revisit the posture. I think it's going to hold up. I think it's going to stay, I don't know, maybe a 3. Maybe it drops a quarter point. Maybe not even. It's holding up. It's keeping what it, I mean, we just had a V. I definitely think we're going to have a consolidation. We haven't had it yet, really. So, much. We'll see. Took a 4-day hedge and a 5-week hedge. Okay. Love the thought process. I love the openness, willingness, and the fact that we're always thinking about a hedge. Always. That makes sense. If not, you're going to be too late. If you're not always thinking about it, you're too late. That's my opinion. If it's not always where you're like, is it a good time? Should I now? Because if you're like, oh, shoot, I think if you wait to react, you're always too late. Always. So don't even bother. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not, it's not being negative. You're not negative for buying car insurance. Oh, it has nothing to do with you sometimes. Right? Anyway, that's my soapbox moment. Brought to you by coffee. Delicious and nutritious. What else are we going to do? We'll revisit we'll look at the trades being carried over the weekend, what to look for next week. What did I say about employment? Don't start getting those pearls clutched until we see all the data and get a chance to process it, and then we'll see. Opportunity list. Trading plan. How's your risk management? Remember, I'm not strict. I want a 6 out of 10. Get me when I say rate your section blank, and in this case it's section 4 about risk management. When I say give me a rating for yours, you're going to give me at least a 6. And once you get to a 6, the next goal is an 8. From an 8, we make it a 9. And then, at that point, 0.1 at a time. So 4, 7. Yeah, 5, 4. Love it. Six. Okay. I love it. I love the willingness to talk about it. Thank you, everybody. Let me keep going. INM. Let's take a look at it today, Steven. I'm willing. I'm willing to take a look at it. What's going on? Oh, the fighting. The fighting. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. It's a bullish day. Why? Jobs came in strong. Let's go through the numbers. I was suspicious. Tell me if you were of this number here. Let me let some people in. Sorry. Job openings. We had 300,000 more than expected. Then there was a bit of panic here, and I said, hey, relax. It's ADP. It's ADP. It's private. They're volatile. They miss. And then jobless came, and we're like, wait a second. They missed. We did not. Again, we did not break the threshold of even the first week of, right? It's the head turn. The Panasonic dog that turns its head like, what? We're not even there yet, let alone taking action or showing actual concern. 3 weeks above 250, like 260 or above. 260, let's say. All I can see is your name. Are you guys seeing the screen? Yes. Can everybody see my economic calendar? Yes. Okay. Gene, I maybe click around and see if it's there. Sandy. Yeah, right. The bromance. The bromance has taken a turn. Where's the love? We missed on jobless claims, and we said, but wait. Let's just wait until Friday. Maintain. We took some profits at some profitable levels, but I kept a couple of things, kept it all. A couple of things took some, kept some. Everything turned out pretty well. That was mostly the consensus that I heard from amongst strategies. I believe most people still have a good amount of bullish still on. And so then the question's going to become, what do we keep over the weekend? And if you decide you're going to keep things over the weekend, then are you also going to keep your hedge over the weekend? Great trade management discussion, great learning to be had. Whatever you do, think about what you would have done. Watch both things. Think about, right? So if you take path A, also track what would have happened had you done path B. Keep notes on both. Get a good sense of, like, not just, I should have done something else. Oh, should you have? Should you have picked different lottery numbers? Well, it's not really helpful, right? To say I should have picked different lottery numbers. What? Anyways. Okay. So for me, the labor market, speed bump. Speed bump. Nothing more. Still. Which means what? What does that mean in regard to the next piece that the market's looking for? And that is the Fed. And the administration is begging for a rate cut, and the Fed, we know, has shown discipline in establishing that they will not cut rates until inflation comes back down. Nothing more. So the worst by holding over the trade is a result in a small loss if it retreats. And if you have a hedge, a small retreat could be offset with your hedge. So, I mean, look, we're fine. May. So here's a question. I'm going to open this up. You don't have to answer, obviously, if you don't want to. I'm only going to ask this in the positive. Was May a positive month for you? Are you tracking it month to month? I hope you are. Just kind of like, hey, how did I do from here to here? Boom. Boom. Yes. Boom. Yes. Boom. Yes. Boom. Yes. Yes. I love it. Every month is. Sandy, you're amazing, as always. That's one of the reasons we're best friends. Making up for some losses in April. Okay. Yeah, Bill says. Love it. It was a good month. June has started off a good month. We're capitalizing. I don't ever want to look back and be like, whoa. I mean, the worst thing, I've had months where I'm like, oh, I missed the market somehow. We have not missed anything. Anyway, good. Let's go look at the market itself. How about that? I feel like I'm a little bit yappy today, so I apologize. So the VIX, and I got to tell you, I was like, do I close my hedge because we've taken this low out now? That was a fast reversal, but we don't. Yappy is good and happy is good. Love it. But we don't have this turn. I'm going to hold mine. Yeah. Because I'm going to hold some trades for sure. We'll go through those, of course, next. Let's go look at the SPY. And then let's go through some of our positions. Talk about some adjustments. Okay, now I want you to notice we did gap up. What is my downside concern? Okay, so we're kind of like, we were like, oh, we're hitting this resistance, and then we gapped up. If we come back in, gap down on Monday, and start running however much it may or may not go, right? What candlestick trivia of the day for Friday? Gold star on the line. What would I potentially call that candle? Oh, who wants to throw some names out there at me? Oh, Sandy knows it's like my favorite thing. It's an abandoned baby. Abandoned baby. Oh, yes, indeed. You could also call it an evening star. North Star, Karine says. Evening star. Yeah. I'll accept North Star. I accept your answer, of course. Yeah, that'll be interesting. And you will be glad if you continue to hold a hedge through that. Implications of that are not great. Like that could be like we'd get a consolidation. You'll be scrambling to close things that you held if we see that. Here's what I would tell you. Took a little loss on or it's a paper loss as of now. Taking a small loss on the hedge. More than offset by gains, of which some are being realized, not paper, but realized gains. That's how hedges work. Here's the thing, though. Imagine if there was an insurance policy where you're like, it's protecting me, it's protecting me. You close out bull trades. All of a sudden, the market takes a drop, and that insurance policy goes from a negative to like, oh, you know what? We're going to give you a 500 back on that. You're like, oh, thanks. That sounds great. Thank you. And that's how hedging works if we do it right. So yeah, let's see. Abandoned baby. What? Sandy and I across the world. We're in sync today. You can see it. Seasoned veteran that she is. She's had to put up with me for quite a while. See some other things, shall we? Why can't I get my platform to show up with my watch list? There it is. Let's start here because this is fun. I booked at 685. Was the first threshold set. Now the other threshold is 7. It's something outrageous. Where I look at it, I'm like, what? What were you thinking there, buddy? That might be a little high. 735 seems high, and it's a pretty high reward to risk ratio. So I'm like, well, okay, I was ambitious. I mean, it would have to maintain this trajectory to get there. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't, but I'm starting to look here to say, you know what? 707, 705, because I'm close, right? Then if I get to that point, I might take a little more and then see if I can catch that last piece. Now, if your position doesn't support that, you just have to decide what are you going to do with it. Well, this thing looks phenomenal. Anyone who's like, but Scott, it's overbought. You know that's no justification for just about anything other than a potential entry. This right here was overbought, and then it 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 was overbought. And the whole time it went from here to here, right? So the fact that something is overbought is never in and of itself a disqualifying condition. So when I hear people state it, they're like, but it's overbought. You're saying that as if it's disqualifying. I love that it's overbought. Buyers are in the house. So it's back up and then some. If you haven't taken anything off the table, I don't give recommendations. Of course, that's in the disclaimers. I would throw some potential illustrative and educational guidance that says on a Friday with a nice gain in hand, that's a nice gain in hand. There's still some potential, of course. Yeah. Take some, keep some. So if you're like, well, should I keep it then? I'm keeping some for sure. Are you? Let me know. Let me know if you still have Meta. Let me know if you plan to keep Meta. Steven says volume has been declining. Again, I'm going to tell you, took the rest today. Fair. And if I took more, I'd probably take my hedge, but I have it all in place. I'm going to roll. I'm okay with volume declining. Trends, once buyers have it, once the trend's in place, I just don't need volume. Certainly I recognize if I'm like, oh, there's a price volume divergence. And today there is. And Steven, I definitely share your concern. So did you take the rest of yours or are you keeping some? Miguel's holding some. Agreed. It's great hike in Ashy. I think you could even actually go here and go to this one. I wouldn't necessarily go this tight. So let's see. That puts us at 683, 684-ish. Bottom line, I'm saying those. You're at that, Steven. That's a good observation. Even though the buyers are diminishing, we recognize that. Still no sellers. Phenomenal point. Great observation. 684-ish. If I go back here, that puts me quite a bit lower down at 677. I like the 684 better. Anyways. Okay. Meta. Any questions, comments, concerns? Let's go. I agree with your assessment. Let's go next to CLS. Come on, CLS. Come on. If you're like, you know what, I have some gains. It's Friday. I'm going to take some. I get it. If you say it's starting to ease below this old low here, yeah, I get it. Take some, keep some is my philosophy. So I'm taking my first piece because it's Friday, because we're at the same place, stalled a little bit here. But at the same time, I definitely think this thing has plenty ability to still break and get back up next week. So I am still keeping some CLS. Let me know who's still in it if you took it. If you're out, how'd you do? Did you take a small gain at least? Let's talk through it. Let me know, CLS. Good question. Good question. And I did not half. I took a quarter. A quarter. So there you go. And you, sir? CME setting up for us. We've exchanged a couple of emails. I'm just like, hey, CME, how you doing? It's good. You know, just checking in. CME's like, I'm resting. Getting some hydration. Like, good to hear. Good to hear. You feeling good? Yep. Okay. I think things are coming. Things are setting up. Cisco. Yeah. I kind of wished I would have pulled the trigger on Cisco. I feel like we had that in sights. I feel like we had room for one more technology. Yeah, so I feel like if anything, here's a good question. Are you over trading, under trading, or Goldilocks trading? Over, under, or Goldie? I just made that up. That's my new phraseology. I just made that up. I'm going to keep that too. Over, under, Goldie. I feel like I've been really treading pretty well in Goldie, and if anything, flirting with under right now. Goldilocks, Sandy, just right. Just right. Not too hot, not too cold, not too hard, not too soft. Just right. Over, under, Goldie. So I feel like if anything, I'm Goldie and a little, if anything, under. Sandy says under. Presently under. Love it. All of these things are patented immediately after they're said. Immediately. Owned by the group, however. These are now group terms. Okay. It's good. These are the right questions. And I feel like if I would have to say, if anything, over the last few weeks, your risk has increased. Yes, like probably almost double, I would think, over like maybe 3 to 4 weeks prior. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Tell me if you did somewhere around the same. But yeah, love it. Love it. Super good conversation today. You guys are bringing your A game. I don't even know if you have a B game. Delta. Okay. We were talking about some, like, is there any more room in a consumer discretionary space? I gotta tell you, like, if someone pulled the trigger on that, I don't feel like I have room. I'm kind of holding a good amount going into the weekend where I'm like, do I feel as comfortable as which is again why the hedge is very helpful. Better managed. Love to hear that. In Delta, Kevin says, love it. Great trade. In today, in prior, either valid. I think you got a good come out of the hiccup signal right here, 6-3. Any of these open for business, in my opinion. Patience has increased. Able to stay with it. Wednesday, love it. Love it. So my daughter's completely like better because she's 20. So when she gets sick, she recovers. And then she gets me sick. And then it takes me like 3 times as long. Can you hit them when they're 20? I don't know. It's a fair question. She lives in the house. EA, I still feel a little bit like maybe it's going to drop. Stress level has reduced significantly. Oh my God, I love that comment. Thank you so much for saying that. And sharing with the group, that's a good way to put it. Beat her up with a feather. She bought a hat that said something. It was like, what does it say? I bought this with Dad's credit card. I can't remember. It's hilarious. It's so true. She's so spoiled. GE Vernova coming our way. So what do we have? CME. We're exchanging correspondence. GE Vernova wrote me a note that said, do you like flags? And nothing else. I was like, that's so cryptic, GE Vernova. But yes, I do like flags. How did you know? Gold. You guys know how I feel about gold. I can only take it if someone else puts the trade out. And even then, I'm a little bit skittish, but I like to talk about it. Tell me if you're in it. Tell me what you're doing with it. Google. Okay. So, and this is valid. I'm going to say I teach people who hesitate with it, and I did. You know, I was looking at that signal yesterday. It finished just barely positive, but I did not like this red candle. And that's a stickler sometimes, where it's like we had a valid signal. Tell me if you saw it. Tell me if you traded it. Not trading gold, but I own physical gold. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. El Jago, good take. Well done. It's a valid signal. It's a valid signal. I was thinking about it for an alert, and then I was just like, oh. And then when I got that VIX pop, I was like, you know what? I talked about this. I'm going to put it out as a hedge so everybody knows. Don't take this unless you're hedging something, right? It's not a speculative put. It's a hedge put. Question. Was that clear in the alert? Was that clear that this was only a hedge trade, not a speculative trade? Or do you feel like there could be even a little bit more verbiage around when that type of an alert comes? I'm open to it. Tell me if you feel like it could be. I think I put an extra sentence in. I think I put an extra sentence in the email that said this was born of a VIX signal. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that, you guys, because I wanted to try to be clear. I wanted to try to be clear that was indeed a hedge signal. Okay. Goldman was a little more verbiage will be good. Understood. You know, honestly, this is a one-person vote. If one person says, I'd like a little more, then I'm going to put a little more. If it was good enough, then, you know, ignore when it comes and just look in the parentheses and it says hedge, you know what it's for. Amen to that, Kareem. Agreed. Goldman. Look, we see this and we're like, okay, great. Because why? Because we're correlated. We're correlated in Morgan, and Morgan's actually been performing a little better. If you traded Hilton, if you traded Delta, you'd maybe consider Hilton. Robinhood, son of a gun. Too much volatility around this entry, but it worked. Looking for the next one. Why? Because guess what happened here? Cup. Barely any handle. That was part of the problem. We were looking for a little more handle, but we broke it. And now what? Now I'm going to look for this, whether it comes all the way back or only comes part way back. That's about halfway. That's probably what I would look for first. This thing has what's the resistance? What's the resistance here? Someone might say. I don't see one. I mean, if you want to say 77.80 because that's the highest point it just got to at its new highest high, people are like, it's at 52-week highs. That should make you like giddy. I love 52-week highs. Next pullback, what do I have? No resistance. Love it. Looking for the next one. Leap on Hood got out in February around 35. 35. Ugh. Some rumination. Huh? Okay. 135? Yeah. Still, I get it. But still, indeed. Okay, where we are. IBM. Let's talk about this. It's a little under the line. That's a pretty steep line. But it is definitely hitting some resistance here. And Steven says, I have only just a little bit of profit because it's been taking some time. Little vol pullback. There's nothing wrong with taking off even at break even and holding the rest to say, you know what? Yeah, right. Well done. Someone said, sorry, whoever's saying that, you're coming in as iPhone and I don't have your name. So your comments have been amazing. I appreciate that. Mysterious stranger. Steve C. That makes sense. I should have guessed. On holiday, where, doing what? Let us know so we can all live a little vicariously. California, yay. At Resistance, it's visiting fam. That sounds a little less like vacation. No, I'm just kidding. For my family, maybe. Hitting resistance. I would say if you take off at break even and keep some, move your stop. You're now basically saying, look, I think this trade still has some prospects, but it doesn't look great. If it then pops, here's the deal. When you take some, keep some, you replace regret with gratitude. Here's what I mean. Okay. If you're just always holding or always selling, then you're always open to regret. If I sell everything and then it pops, I'm like, oh, I should have kept some. I'm regretful. If I don't sell anything, if I hold it all and then it drops, I'm like, I saw it at resistance. I should have sold. What was I doing? I'm regretful again. I'm a regretter. If I sell half and it drops, I'm grateful I sold half at the top and then I managed the rest. Gratitude is my number one emotion. That's not a chimp emotion, right? That's a professor emotion. I mean, they maybe are grateful sometimes, but mostly just, high expectations. Bastards. There's if it keeps going on Monday and it pops resistance, you're not sitting there like, oh, why did I take that off? Of course you would have, now that you would have rather have kept it all. I'm not saying you're not going to think that way. What I'm saying is you're like, I kept some. I took the risk out of the trade for the weekend, kept some. Yeah. Mine was take some, less than half, keep some, more than half. Let's move on to what Miguel just said and change the perspective. Looks quite good. Looks good. Right? It's moving fine. It's not quite the level we want, but it's also, there's no reason to be like, oh, we should bail. What are we doing here? Yeah. So every trade so far, there's absolutely a reason that we should be in. And there's reasons that would have you having either already taking some or potentially now thinking about pulling out. More sustainable for sure. Yeah. Always, the thought process is always live to trade another day. And that regret has you just chasing your tail all the time. Last time I did this time I do that. Last time, this time. Whereas you just can't find your consistency. Take some, keep some. And what are you adjusting? The ratios of your take some, keep some. You're adjusting it to market conditions. You're adjusting it to whether you have a hedge. You adjust it to what else you have. These are phenomenal risk management considerations where you're not just like, oh, what should I do? What do I do? Love it. It's such a good discussion. I'll tell you this. What it does is it really, like, oftentimes when we leave here, I just feel validated with what I was doing before I came on, before we got into this. I don't know how much you guys, sometimes I do. You might hear like me, like sort of like disappear for a second. Yeah, I might be doing something with a trade. Of course. Come on. Of course. It's not always all the way managed by the time we get here. I got to do a couple of things too. I know you're doing the same thing. Does everyone feel pretty good about IBM if you're in it? Small caps today, you guys. Small caps are holding on better than about anything else. So if nothing else, just change to gratitude. Yeah, love it. Love it. Small caps showing a little something that might pop up on our market posture this week. Speaking of, I got to go back to that before we wrap up, but we have some time. Let me get out of the Heiken Ashies. Sorry. MasterCard again. So for my under trading, I feel like Cisco, we said there is room in technology, and Visa or MasterCard, not or Visa or MasterCard. We said there was room in financials from a credit card. Yeah. Should have. I think there could have been another alert on at least one or two of those. MasterCard, Meta looks just fine. Morgan looks just fine. I mean, look, it's a doji. People are like, that's a doji. It's a high. It's up 1%. It is. It's the same logic. What would you be thinking here? Take some, keep some. What's your ratio? Maybe half, maybe less. I'd say less. There you go. Now, if you have two, it's half, right? If you have three, then it's either a third or 2/3, and that helps make the decision easier sometimes. If you have four, it's a quarter or half, right? And you get the gist. 5 contracts is helpful because then you can like, okay, I can hit 40%. I can hit 20%. It's a good level in there. And I sometimes will buy an extra contract in order to give me, right? I might go outside of my risk parameters a little in order to give me better controls, trade management controls, if that makes sense. Microsoft. I just don't know what to think about Microsoft or Netflix. It's not really given much. What percentage has your trading improved since joining the group? Are you asking the group or are you asking me if I've improved? Oh, to the group. I should go look. I should go look and do like an average where I take maybe like 3 or 4 groupings of trades. So it's like 300 or 400 trades of group trading versus prior. I bet I'm better. I'm gonna try to find out. I think I'm better. Yeah. That's a good question. 90% better. Love it. Went from break even to profitable. Love it. Oh my gosh. This is a fun Friday. No regrets. We don't believe in regret around here. Look at PLTR with that inside day. I don't know what to make of it. You know I love it. It's trying to it's flirting around with this level right through here. You'll notice. I'm always down. Harami indeed. Harami indeed. Pennant. So it could break this or it could move into a. So this is a short-term consolidation pattern. Wait, where did you go, drawing tools? This is a short-term, kind of like a flag, but a pennant. Could we break from this? Yes. Or could we consolidate from this into something that's viable? Yes. But I know who Goldilocks is. Love it. QQQ. Oh my gosh. It's funny because I smashed a trade on this. And I felt bad because I was going to put an alert out and I didn't. But I smashed that trade. I don't know. I did not get that at all right there, man. Did anyone get that? Like, where did that come from? That's what it just sort of like was like, took like a little breath and then just gone. Like, bam. Parabolic. I feel happy that I caught a piece, but I'm like, I wish I would have got, just for fun, because my contracts actually were like out here somewhere. I went back and look at what I sold here and what they're worth now. God, you don't even want to know what happened. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. You're like, are you never rabbit hunting, Gene? I love rabbit hunting. No, I really don't. I do it for fun sometimes. I won't do it playing poker. I always tease people that do. Gene's like, don't do that. I was grateful for what I had, but I did it just for shits and giggles. It's Friday. Pardon my French. Rivian, is it gonna give us a trade? That is good advice, Gene. Is it gonna give us a trade? I don't know. That's a maybe for me. If I took this one, I would be thinking half all. I would actually not even look for the higher high here, even though it could, simply because it was a pretty heavy pullback. Like, if you're a fib, oh, you've been holding the stock. Love it, LJ Go. If you are a fib person, that is like 78% retracement. You know, still a higher low. Who wants to give me a little grimace? Right? This was on our ready to go list. Yeah. Boom. Boom. You could even, it's ready. Just couldn't. You can't. It was up 6% on the open. Maybe even 6.5 or 7, 9% now. And then once it opens there and drops all the way, you're not going to be like, oh, I'll catch it if it comes back through here now. You're just like, I don't know at that point. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I wasn't interested in it. I wasn't going to put an alert out about it. But did anyone watch it and catch an entry on the way back? Right here? I would say no. But if you did, you're really picking it up. Weekend scare. SE. I told you there was something weird about this one. Big bearish engulfing. Not a ton of volume, though. Not a ton of volume. SPY still in that doji. That doji that could be an evening star / abandoned baby come Monday. We'll see. It's funny because I'm like bullish on everything I'm holding, and then I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Got a little 3.5% back after losing 12%. And apparently everyone says he blinked first, so Trump having this impact seemed to say, and now apparently he's trying to get a phone call. Yeah, you're on the outs, buddy. Should embrace it. TSM overextended. Uber. Did anyone take it? Same kind of a look as CME and what was the other one? Oh, what was the other one that looked like this? CME and Friday, I can't remember. Bouncing off the drop. Rivian. I remembered first. Uber. I like it, Miguel. Anticipatory or yesterday on confirmation? I don't think I would, to be fair. I mean, I know it pulled back from the high. Up 1%. I mean, I guess it ticked that a little bit. I don't know. I kind of feel like I wouldn't. What were you leaning towards? Don't make me the tiebreaker. Up 15%. Maybe a titch. I don't know. But tell me what you decide. Visa. That's another one where Visa or MasterCard, either one. Sorry, I jumped. I didn't mean to. Let me go back to Visa. I feel like we should have had that second piece of financials. All right. A little on that underside. I'm not going to be too hard on myself. The VIX is still looking quite strong, you guys. Sorry, I'm jumping around. Walmart. I said if it got into this, and it technically did for the shadow, but not more, I would maybe trade the pullback. I don't know, maybe not. I feel like it didn't get enough because it hit this resistance. Maybe if it closed in there and then it did this, I'd be a little bit more comfortable. What do you guys think about Walmart? Is it on the list or is it still like too sideways? I want to hear from you guys. Thoughts? I mean, if it, let's say it too sideways, Gene says, Sandy says no. If you did it, I would wait for like maybe doji followed by bull, but I'm just worried that resistance is a little too much. It needs to get out of the channel. Yeah. Consensus is we're a no until the buyers haven't done enough post this little earnings, fiasco. Love it. Good consensus. That's the list. Did I not hit anything that you wanted to? Is there any stocks that you want to touch on? Otherwise, I'm going to go look at the plan and we'll look at the SPY one more time. Good trade management discussions today. Very, very good. Okay, portfolio heat. Where are you now relative to maximum portfolio heat? I am around 60 to 75%. I've got plenty more to add, but I've definitely stepped it up quite a bit. Where are you at? Are you above 50%? Are you at 75? Are you at capacity? Are you like, I'll take, if you're a person who puts on 50, and if this is a new concept to you, what does this mean? So if I'm willing to have, let's say, 16% risk as a maximum, and I allocate that at 1.5% per trade, that means that I could have 10, even 11 trades and be around that. That's maximum. So if I was at 60 to 75% of that, then I'm going to be around 6 or 7 trades at 1.5%, and that would add up to that level. Now this is trades. This is not including long-term investments, covered calls. This is trades. This is your speculative portfolio, not your investment money. So they don't commingle those those piles. 70%. I don't see anyone in the waiting room. Did you? Oh, wait, there is. Holy shit, sorry. PJ, I am so sorry. Someone said there was no ding and no waiting room, and then he said something. So I am so sorry. If you've been in there very long, nothing dinged me, and I thought I had the waiting room in front of me. No, that's on me. That's 100% my fault. And so yeah. Different pots of money. Once I take green, I see green. Sometimes, right? But now it's like hopefully you're starting to hopefully you're starting to hold things a little longer, things like that. And as I have this, this is a great to go back to a entry problem. I know you guys are on the platform, so if it's ever like a problem getting in and you post it, I bet people would see it and flag me. And that's a great idea. So anyway, PJ, again, so very humbly sorry. Talking about the plan, what is your maximum? Where are you now? What will cause you to start to push a little bit more? Right? To push a little bit more, open it up to 80, 85, 90. How are you allocating that heat into a number of trades, which then is each one? Now, you might start at trade risk and end up with number of trades. You might start at number of trades. I've had people I've worked with who are like, every time I get more than 5 trades, I get uncomfortable, things start. And so what do? That's their limiter. Great. If you end up at 15% and you divide that into 5 and it's 3% a trade and you feel comfortable with that, you will make substantially more money doing that. Absolutely. With a positive expectancy, substantially more money. I highly recommend that. Or you start to distribute it more, right? Where you're like, I'm comfortable with 10 or 11 trades. That's 5 sectors, 2 different ways, right? This is the way I look at it. And so 10 trades, 11 trades, 12 trades, that allows me to, I'm comfortable with that. So if I was 1.5% to 2%, I could be anywhere from 20 to 22% risk. And no, I really don't like it to drift that high, even though the math would support it. Because the math can't support it without the psychology. If your Kelly criterion says, sure, take more risk, and then your head, right, your chimp starts to really get crazy when it gets above 12, 13, 14% risk, then it's going to change the system when that. So anyway, these are the right considerations as you really start to fine tune your risk management considerations. Definitely hold longer than ever before. Gene, I'd love to hear the feedback. Thank you. I will post this within 10 minutes. PJ, I will immediately process the recording so that if you want to listen to it, you can. Again, I have no excuses. I definitely should have been checking better. I thought I would have heard the ding. So on me. Again, my apologies. Again, I'm going to try to see what I can do so that doesn't happen again, even integrating the group more. But I will definitely post the recording so that if you want access to it, you can. And thank you for your forgiveness. I appreciate that. Listen, you guys, amazing. I appreciate you. Great day, great group. Really good discussions today. I hope you feel good about what you're doing now that the market just shut down. That's it. Whatever's going on, the chimp just got hit with a tranquilizer. He's sleeping. We've got 2 days. We'll see it. We'll talk about it Sunday. Go recover from it. Go have go do something. Take a walk. Have a cocktail. Right? Beautiful, beautiful. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday. I'll see you Sunday morning. As always, happy trading.